guys, it's Neelufar Gibson with Honest Mom, and today we're going to talk about what's in my diaper bag. Make sure you like and subscribe. Okay guys, so what is in my diaper bag? So when Riker was a baby, of course things in there were very different than what they are now as a 2-year-old, so I'm going to talk about what's in the diaper bag for a toddler. Now, I'm not going to go into what type of diaper bag you should be getting because that's a whole other video, and also I've realized it's a very personal decision. It's very personal. I like to get something that's very functional. I'm all about functionality and not style. I know some people want to. I tried, but none of those diaper bags ever worked for me. This one has a lot of zippers, a lot of compartments, and very easy to use. It's waterproof. I love this thing, and I've been using this since Riker was born. We had to buy a new one because our older one ripped, but you know, it doesn't last forever. So anyway, so let's get into it. So first things up is the basic things is obviously diapers. So I always like to keep at least like 4 or 5 diapers in here. And the other item I like to put in here is a pee pad. Yes, I said pee pad. Not for Riker to pee on. But I like to use this is like parent hack. So when I use a public diaper changing table, I like to put this on it. It adds a little bit more comfort. It's not cold for them, and it just keeps it very clean, and then I can just throw this away. So I love to have these. It's so funny because I bought a bunch of these before I had Riker because my midwife was telling me that you need this for, you know, when you go into labor. And because I had a C-section, I ended up having a C-section. I never used these at all. So we had this whole bag, and I was like, what do I do with all this? And then actually another mom told me you can use this for diaper changing tables in public, and I was like, oh, that's genius. So I always keep at least one in here, and then I'll refill. I like to always have that because, you know, public restrooms, especially these days during the pandemic and COVID times, it's just really gross. I mean, bathrooms were always gross to me, public restrooms. But sometimes you got to do it, or you got to change your child's diaper, right? And the reason why I have it in a Ziploc bag is because we go to Disneyland a lot, and when you go through security, I don't want them touching, you know, Riker's diapers. It's a very personal item, so at least they're just touching the bag and not the diapers. That's why I have it in here. And of course, what goes with diapers are wipes. I like this brand, Young Living. It's very natural. I love the smell of it. It smells like lavender, and it's really soft on the skin, so I always gotta have wipes, man. You pretty much use wipes for everything. If you're a parent, you know. Use it for, you know, cleaning their face, cleaning their hands, cleaning, you know, their placemats. Pretty much I use this for everything, so this is a total must, so that's really great to have. The other basic items that is a must is having water. Always make sure that I'm hydrated, Riker's hydrated. I have this Miracle Cup for Riker. These are great because they don't spill, and they're easy to drink out of. You don't have to deal with a straw or anything. This is super easy. And then of course I have one for me. I just get really thirsty, and I like to get the ones that pop up with a straw. I don't want to have to like spend time unscrewing, especially when you're just with one hand. If you're like with your toddler, I can just kind of do this really fast. And I got the smaller version, so that way it's not too heavy, and it's just super easy to hold. So yeah, so always have water. And then snacks, lots of snacks, guys, lots of snacks. Toddlers need lots of snacks, and mamas too. So I like to get these little pouches. They're super easy to store. They're non-perishable, so I always keep them in my diaper bag. These are really easy for them to use because they don't need a fork or spoon or a bib or a plate or anything. You can just hand it to them and they can just suck on it. These are great for when we're out grocery shopping or at Target shopping, so that way I can easily just hand it to Riker and he can just drink it and be super happy. I also love these granola bars. These are from Target. They're PB&J bars. Obviously, if your child is not allergic to peanuts, this is such a good thing because it has lots of protein, and it's just a great little snack to hold them over if they're like really hungry. I also love to eat these too, so I always keep a few for me as well, because you just never know. You get hungry, you gotta have a snack. or you get stuck somewhere and you don't know that you were gonna get stuck. You didn't plan on that. And I always make sure that there is snacks because it keeps Riker very happy, which means it keeps me very happy. The other snack that I like to keep are like goldfish and O's. Oh, they're O's from Trader Joe's, but they're Cheerios basically. I like to keep these because again, these are kind of like my emergency snack, I call them. Because this is not like, it's basically carbs. I mean, it's not so nutritious, but it keeps them busy. It's a great snack that he can chew on. And I also like to use these before his, like, if we're at a restaurant and the food's taking a long time to come, at least this will keep him busy. It's really a great thing just to keep him busy, but also not be like starving. So these are kind of my basic snacks. Of course, when I like kind of know the plan that we're gonna do for the day, then I'll bring more things like apples and fruit and maybe some yogurt or things that and even like lunch that I have prepared at home that I know and I can store in a little cooler, put some ice in there to keep it cold. I mean, that's more of like a planning day, but this is like, you know, we've left the house, we've gone, and then we end up, I don't know, we end up being somewhere longer than we thought and then we're hungry. And so then I just always make sure that I have these. The other essential item is a first aid kit. So I have mine like this little makeup bag. I don't like the little containers because it just doesn't fit very well in a diaper bag. I want something that's a little more squishable and I can like squish. So what's in here is really, really key. We use this bag a lot. So there's sunscreen. And I use that too in case I forget to put some on. There's a first aid little kit. You can buy this at Target. It has Band-Aids, all different sizes. It has gauze, and this basically, like you can buy like this at Target. I think it was like $1.99. Even though Riker hates Band-Aids, I know a lot of kids love Band-Aids, and Riker like literally will like rip it off. But I like to have it anyways and try to keep it on him if he's like really bleeding a lot. And of course, with Band-Aids, you want to always keep Neosporin, like an antibiotic ointment. So there's like a baby brand or a kid's brand that you can buy. I think Target also has their brand. I just bought the Neosporin brand. But this is a must. I always like to put that on his little wounds if he like falls at the playground, which happens a lot when you have a toddler. The other thing is I like to keep hydrocortisone cream. Hydrocortisone cream comes in handy a lot. If you know his skin gets a little red, if he breaks out into like a rash or whatever, I like to put this on, and this has come in handy a lot. So I like to use that and have it on at hand. The other thing, of course, is really essential is this diaper rash ointment. Again, the brand that I love is Young Living. It's natural, it smells really good, and it feels really great on the skin. This is such a must because they get it. It happens, they get diaper rash, and like you don't want your kid to suffer with that pain, so I always make sure I have that. The other little few items that I have in here is like a little, I have like a file, because you just never know if like you're somewhere, especially if I'm like at my grandparents, at his grandparents' house, and like, I don't know, I gotta file his nails. I just like to get this little file. And then for me, this is more for like things that I need is Tylenol. I have like a little sunscreen in here. I have floss in here, and I have eye drops. So again, things for me too. So you have to kind of think that the diaper bag, at least for me, I don't carry a separate purse and a diaper bag. I tried that at first, and it was just not easy to have a purse and a diaper bag and to hold Riker, and it was just too much. And so I literally put everything that I had in my purse, not everything, because that's impossible, but the essentials, my wallet, you know, these kind of things in here, you know, chapstick, things like that. I would put keys, I would put all that in a diaper bag, and I pretty much just have a diaper bag. I have nothing else. So this is what's in here, and again, you can try to choose like your own little bag or box or whatever you want to keep your, but at least I can just like, everything's in one spot. I can just open it and it's ready to go. The other thing which has to do with food is these really cool disposable placemats. These are great for public restaurants because they have a little bit of learning on there. They're disposable, and then also I can place this food on here without worrying about germs or it being gross or the table not being clean. And they're super easy because they just stick, you just kind of pull the back of these and they just stick on the table. And then you can just throw it away. It's really, really great. This comes, we use this every time we go to a restaurant. It is amazing. I love, 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 love these. So, and I have to say thanks to my sister-in-law who suggested it to me because she said it came into really good use for her son. So, and they're really easy to store. So they come like in a pack of 20 or maybe more. You can get them off Amazon, Target. And I like them because again, they're really easy to store. They don't take much space. And I keep like, I don't know, like 20, maybe I keep like 20 at a time in there and I just keep refilling as needed. The other thing that I like to keep that has to do with food is a bib. I always need to keep a bib with me, and I like these again because they're easy to fold. They don't take much space. I always like to bring a spoon, at least one spoon, because sometimes at restaurants, I don't know what kind of spoon they have there. Sometimes they're too big, they're not easy to hold. This Riker is really used to this spoon. It's a little smaller than the ones that we have at home, but it's good just to keep for when we go out to a restaurant, which is not as often. The other thing I love is these reusable stainless steel straws, because these days with people trying to get rid of plastic straws, those paper ones, I'm sorry, but I do not like those paper straws. They're just horrible. And then to have a toddler try to use them, or even myself, I'm like, no. So this is also good because again, there might be somewhere where they don't have a straw or they have paper ones, which I don't like. I got this one off at Target. I'm sure you can get this at Amazon too. There's different types. This one was a little more expensive. I wanted one a little more expensive because it kind of like, it has a brush and everything so you can clean it. So wherever you are, you can just like wash it and then it goes right back in here. So these are kind of the things that I have for like the food items when we go to a restaurant. And then speaking of restaurants is, I've learned to keep, I have to keep my toddler busy. So we try not to give him a tablet or a phone or anything while we're at a restaurant. That's a whole other conversation. It's a very controversial thing, it's screen time with your kids, but we do screen time, but I just don't want to do that at a restaurant unless it's like, it's just a personal decision that we've made as parents. But unless it's like an emergency situation where like literally he's like having a day, we're having a day, he's not eating, and then we gotta put on a show for him on YouTube or something. And we've done it a few times, I have to admit, and it's just one of those like emergency situations. But what we do like to do is doing flashcards with Riker. And so I got these little like colors and shapes. There's like words, first words. You can get these at Target. I think I got this at Amazon and this at Target. The dollar section at Target is amazing, the dollar spot. This was $1, and so I bought a bunch of these. I think I have one for alphabet, numbers. This one is shapes and colors. And then, so yeah, it's just something that he doesn't see every day because it's only when we go to a restaurant, so he gets really excited and we get to learn something new, and it's just awesome. I used to have like little trucks and cars because he's really into that right now. But after a while, he kind of got old. He started throwing it off the table, and so it became more annoying and frustrating to have those. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just not pack those anymore. So we just kind of do more of these. These seem to work. I also, I don't have it here, but the sketch things can work. We just started to do that. Ours just broke, so I have to get a new one. But little Etch-a-Sketch, those are great to keep them busy too, because you don't need to bring crayons out in a coloring book. It's just a little Etch-a-Sketch. So that's also a great idea. Just something to keep them busy. The other thing I do to keep Riker busy is I kind of give him like his little, I think I mentioned this before, just some O's, goldfish, something to kind of chew on while he waits for his food. So the other essential item is clothing. So when Riker was a baby, I had clothing for me because I was breastfeeding, and of course babies spit up a lot and they have blowouts, so I had actually extra clothes for me in the diaper. But that doesn't happen anymore because Riker's 2 now. But I do have extra clothes for him because you just never know if they have, I don't know, they get muddy or it gets gross, or like right now we're in the middle of potty training and he could have an accident and we need to always have an extra pair of clothes. So I have an extra pair of socks. I have an extra pair of like a onesie or like a t-shirt. And then I always have bottoms, so either if it's shorts or pants. I just like having pants because you don't know how the weather's gonna be. Even if it's like hot, it's fine if they're being pants for a little bit. And I always have like a little jacket I just like these little fleece jackets because they don't take much space and they're super warm. Because there's been times where we've left the house and it was hot, and then by the time like we got somewhere, the weather changed and it got super cold, and so I was able to like use this. So, and the thing you have to remember, because you know you don't really use these that often, I have to always check my diaper bag every like 6 months and make sure the right size is in there, because I think one time I still had like a 6-month shirt, like onesie, and he was like 1, he did not fit in it. So you definitely want to make sure the size is correct, and just, you know, just pack it up. And these are really easy because they don't take much space. So that's kind of like the essentials. Now the other essential these days that we need because of the pandemic and COVID are masks. So I have one for me and I have one for Sean. I have like 2 or 3 of the adult size masks. And then I have one for Riker as well. Again, because you know you can plan to have your mask on you, but there's times where either like the mask falls, or like Riker might throw it on the floor, or I don't know, you just like don't remember, and it's just always available, and I just always make sure we have masks. So yes. Now the other item, this is a very personal item to me. Now if you're an oil person, essential oil person, this is a must. I have all my little like basic essential oils in this little bag. I have lavender, which is really good for bug bites. I have this owie oil, so if if Riker scrapes his knee or something happens, I can put it on there. There's just a bunch of things, so I won't get into this, but this is very a personal thing. It's just me personally. So if you're an oil person, you like essential oils, it's really nice to have this on hand as well. Okay, so what else is in my diaper bag? I know it seems like a lot, but you really do need all this stuff. At least I do, and I've used like every item in this bag so far. The other thing is getting these little doggy bags. So these are really great. You don't have to get ones that are like for kids. I just get doggy bags. Like it doesn't matter, for dirty diapers. So when we have to do the back of the car diaper change, or in the park or something, right? Somewhere where there's not like a trash can. These are really, really key to have. And that way you can just put it in here, wrap it up, and then throw it away, you know, at a dumpster. But there has been times where there hasn't been any dumpsters around and I had to put it in my car, but at least it's not a dirty diaper in my car. It's in a bag, so it's kind of protected. And I put it in the back of the car, so it doesn't smell as much. But you know, these are great and they don't take much space, and you can just get the doggy ones. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's kind of that. And then the other item is if you use a noise machine to put your child to sleep, which we do, we've been doing it since Riker was a baby, I always make sure we have a noise machine. This is not the one that's in his room, it's an extra, so I bought 2, one for his room and one for the diaper bag. This is really good because sometimes we have to do naps outside the house, and so when we're in the stroller, we put this on, so we try to recreate that space that he does for nap time or bedtime. And I also leave the charger in the bag as well, because you know sometimes I gotta make sure I recharge it and it doesn't die. I think that's it. We kind of went through everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's kind of like the basics of what's in my diaper bag for a toddler. Again, you know, things, I kind of tweak things here and there depending on what our day looks like, but for pretty much like every day, I don't have to even look in here to see what's in there because I know I got the basics. The only thing that I do check is making sure that the snacks are refilled in there, and also the water. And so I think what I do is when we get home from the day, I kind of just at the end of the day make sure that I refill his snacks and fill up the water. But pretty much other than that, I don't really like check anything in here. So that's pretty much it, I believe. Oh, one more thing I forgot is hand sanitizer. Now you can use whatever that you like to use. I like the spray-on types. The spray-on types are just easy because then you can just spray it on the hands. I can spray it on Riker's hands and I don't have to like open a thing, pour it. Again, I like the Young Living brand just because I like the smell and I like that it's natural and it doesn't really irritate the skin or make it feel dry like some of the hand sanitizers that have a lot of alcohol on them. But again, you just use what you want, but I've always make sure I have hand sanitizer because you never know where you are. And this is such an item that I use a lot. So I really think I got everything. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'll probably do another video for what to keep in the diaper bag for potty training, because that's a whole other thing that we'll get into. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make a comment below if there's anything that you have in your diaper bag that I missed, or maybe that can help me, because maybe I am missing out on something else that I need in the diaper bag for a toddler. Please comment below if there's any other videos that you guys want to see about things like this. Let me know. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time.